3 of Wichita's most popular neighborhoods. So to give you a better understanding idea of what Wichita's like and the local market and the neighborhoods around here, I wanted to go over 3 of some of the most popular neighborhoods in Wichita. I'm not saying these are the most popular neighborhoods, but it's what I'm seeing a lot of people are asking for their home searches to be set up for, and people generally want to know a lot about these 3 areas. And I want to kind of break down a little bit of the inside feel and inside of them, of everything, to give you a better idea of Wichita. But before I get into all that, I got to do my due diligence. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things that help us grow this channel to support your local real estate people, Wichita, the economy, all that, and give you some insight into what it's really like. And check out more videos on my channel if you want to get to know Wichita and the real estate process and how we do things with Team Home Hero and EXP here in Wichita. So anyway, so the 3 most popular neighborhoods, or 3 popular neighborhoods I should say, that a lot of people look into around here is really not even so much a neighborhood as much as it is school districts and entire cities around that. And that would be Derby, Andover, and Maize. And all of those are smaller suburb towns of the greater Wichita area that Wichita has grown and kind of incorporated into those areas. But those typically seem to be 3 of the most popular areas that people are looking in, not necessarily a neighborhood, but more of a school district that people are really searching for. And you can make cases and arguments for the other school districts and things like that, but from what I've seen, a lot of people highly desire Derby, Andover, Maize, and ask about those a lot. So that's kind of be what I'm going to go over a little bit, like what the neighborhoods and the culture and the feel is of each of those. Each one of them could be its own video in itself, but just to give you an idea of the overview of everything, I'm kind of going to briefly go over what the houses and the feel of the towns are like. As far as the school district themselves, you'd really have to talk to the parents that go to those areas and the students and the high school facility and staff, and that's quite a lot to dig into to really get a feel for everything. There's some other resources and blogs I could point you to, like Wichita Mom is a good one, and also Wichita Life ICT. I like to help promote not just Wichita, but other people who put out content around Wichita, just to promote the city and what it's like and give you, a factual idea of what it's like, not some type of a skewed representation of everything. But we'll start with Maize, and it's on the west side of town, kind of the northwest side of town. And you can have a Wichita address but be in the Maize school district, which there's a good amount of people that do that. There's quite a lot of development going on the northwest side of town. There's some lake lot neighborhoods over there. You kind of get a little bit more bang for your buck when it comes to houses out there. You have a lot more of a small town feel of the west side, because Wichita is kind of a little big town, meaning that like we have a metro population size of 600,000, but we still have kind of some small town mindsets, coming from a farming, agricultural based background, manufacturing. There's still a good amount of people who want to hold on to that small town feel of Wichita, and you predominantly see a lot more of that going on the west side than you do compared to like the east side of town where Andover is at. So Andover, you're gonna be a lot more of a bigger city feel. You're gonna have a lot more private and public development of like the amphitheater and other commercial developments around the area. But you're going to be paying higher taxes. You're going to get a more developed school system, but you got to pay for that too. Same thing with the house prices are a little bit higher on the east side of town and in Andover and in that school district. Just to remain neutral and unbiased, I'm not going to make any comments about the schooling systems, just because I'm here about real estate and the values of all that, but it's really something you could argue either way on the schooling systems and how good they are or how bad they are. And honestly, I don't think I'm quite the authority expert in that area. I'm going to stay in my lane in real estate and give you an idea of what the cultures and the neighborhoods and that kind of thing are. But as far as evaluating school district, I don't think that's appropriate for me to be telling you or weighing in on, knowing that I'm not an expert in that area. I'm an expert in real estate, and I can tell you how all these things affect neighborhood values and prices and all that, but for me to comment on what the school systems are like, I don't think that's entirely appropriate for your realtor to be weighing in on those things when they're not an expert in those matters. So that's just my 2 cents on that. You know, when people tend to ask me about the school districts and that kind of thing, you know, I stay to my lane of expertise, which is real estate. And I can tell you what the neighborhood values are doing with all that, which is what I'm getting at here with Maize and Andover so far. And then Derby would be the last one. It's southwest of Wichita. I'm sorry, southeast of Wichita. It's very close to McConnell Air Force Base and to Spirit Aero Systems, and also its own city, like probably about 20 minutes outside of Wichita. And so you get kind of that small town feel where it's not engulfed by Wichita, but it's very close to Wichita on everything. And you have all of its own major, you know, commercial developments and everything you'll need. So you don't feel like you're in a real small town, like you don't have a grocery store, you don't have entertainment or a golf course or, you know, any things of that matter. And they have their own hospital down there too. So they're a pretty large size. But I'd say you do get a good amount of what I'd call like working class people, and also like military type of people down there, and kind of small town people in Derby. So Derby and Maize are fairly comparable, other than the fact that Maize is a lot more incorporated into the west side of Wichita, where Derby kind of stands alone by itself down south there on everything as far as, you know, proximity, population wise. Derby is definitely a growing and up and coming town, just because they're putting a lot of development into their areas, and into like they just put in a dinosaur park down there. There's a lot of development going along Rock Road, and there's definitely a lot of promising things for living down in Derby. And it's fairly similar to Maize, just kind of depends on the side of town you live on, where people are that you know that live out there. And then you have, you know, the east side where Andover's at. But those are 3 popular neighborhoods that people are asking about in Wichita: Derby, Andover, Maize. A lot of that is driven by the school system, but also it's driven by, you know, the neighborhood dynamics as far as price points, type of people that live in those areas, location, to like proximity to things. So hopefully that helps you get a little more idea of what Wichita's like in 3 of the most popular neighborhoods / cities, school districts in the Wichita area. If you're liking this content, like, comment, subscribe, share, please. If I can help you out with real estate needs here in Wichita, you know, please shoot me a message or sign up on my website, and I or my team will reach out to see what we can do to help you. You know, we're not super pushy, we're not super salesy, we're more service oriented and education oriented. You know, especially in this hot competitive market, you really got to be at the top of your game still on everything. But appreciate you watching as always, and we'll talk to you soon, hopefully. Peace.